Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. Now, there are some that would say my game week 20 was a bit of a disaster. But that's not the word I'd use. I wouldn't use that word at all. No. Catastrophic. Catastrophic, I think, is far more appropriate. It has been a complete and utter catastrophe. I hate this game. I really do. Oh my god, I was like a schizophrenic watching Man United and Liverpool. Man United fan, obviously, as you can see, and at least I found out where my true loyalties lie, and they do lie with Man United, because as Trent lost his clean sheet and didn't get any scores, and Jota came on with 30 to go and didn't get anything, and and Salah failed to haul, as you know, because we expect more than the 7 pointers, just a goal out of Salah these days. I was happy. What a great game of bloody football that was. I mean, anyone, even the neutrals would have thoroughly enjoyed that. And as I say, it was good to find out that my loyalties do still lie with Man United. Just so you got a little bit of a history of me and Man United. My first memories of Man United is I was born in London. I know my accent's strange, but I was born in London as when I would have been just 2 years old. So it would have been 1968 it would have been. Sitting on my dad's knee, must have been highlights because I don't think they screened the game live. Watching United versus Benfica, sitting on my dad's knee watching that. And I've only been a couple of years old. Remember it clear as day. Dad bouncing on dad's knees, getting all excited as goals went in, and we were watching it in black and white. For my third birthday, my mum bought me a Man United kit. But it was only a year later, when I'd actually learned how to read, that I realised it was actually Manchester City's 1967 away kit. Threw it away in disgust. Anyway, long history with United, and that's just the beginning. I worked through the dark days of the 70s. I was working in London in the last year of the league, as it was before it became the Premier League. Sitting in I was in the West Ham end as Man United played West Ham. And as that bobbly goal went in, destroying our chance of winning the league, and having 10,000 West Ham fans, because I was in the West Ham end, singing. It was the only way I could get a ticket, singing at me. But I took it, to be honest with you, I'm not sure how I survived, but I think they kind of liked me because I was kind of respectful and taking everything in good humour. But I got away with it. And then the following year, I was offered a job promotion, and I came home to my wife and I said, I've just been offered a job promotion, in Manchester. I said, we'll be able to afford a house, promotion, etc. Much cheaper up there, etc. He goes, whatever you think is best, Des. Whatever you think is best. And I said, we'll be able to start a family and everything. Whatever you think is best, Des. And I said, okay, I'll accept it then. I went into the bathroom. It's like, yes. Finally started to go to Old Trafford regularly. So long history with United. And and obviously moving up to Manchester, as the rest is history there as well, and winning the first Premiership and everything that happened after that, doubles and trebles, and not win anything with kids. Anyway, it feels like we're back in the dark days of the 70s at the moment. However, what a great performance, what a great game of football, and sadly not good for my FPL. Anyway, on to this video, which is the review of the game week, which is now finished, and it is an utter shambles. I have made many mistakes the last few game weeks, many, and where they need to be corrected before the season falls apart. Target, as you all know, try and average 70, try and hit be in the top 100,000. And I was so close on all those scores just before the Saka injury. We're right on the Saka injury. Since the Saka injury, where my strategy, which I won't roll into, crumbled, with the high team value and all the premiums and the differentials, and a team that was very hard for people to get, it just crumbled. And I've been too reactive in trying to correct that, and taking hits and doing all sorts of bad things. And I need to steady the ship. So for this video, I'm just going to review this week and the players, and then in my next video I'm going to talk about my corrective actions, and then the plans for the next 5 game weeks, because there's a lot happening in the next 5 game weeks. We're obviously going to get we've got a double game week most likely for Liverpool and Everton, and we've also got to think about, do we use our assistant manager's chip, because there may be an opportunity to use that in that double game week. Thinking about it, given where I am, I'm thinking about it. Do I actually try and regain some ground now and use it? I haven't made a decision on that. I still prefer the idea of using it for the beach football at the end of the season when goals are flying in and you get surprise results. There could be some big upside, you know, with the relegation teams playing mid-table teams that are on the beach. So I'm becoming 50-50 on it now. Do I actually go earlier with it? I'm also almost tempted, just do I actually correct things and use my wild card now this week? I'm not going to. I think that's been reactive again, but it was tempting. It was tempting, but I need that wild card so I can dead end with transfers into blank game week 29, and then come out the other side. You know, with the wild card. Anyway, that's all for future conversations, and some of those will be had in probably the next video, where I sort of review the season so far, particularly the last 5 game weeks and where it's all gone sadly wrong, and what the plans are for the next 5 and going forward. Let's have a talk about this little disaster class that I put on this week. As with any week, any week, it's a game of fine margins. I mean, it's I think this is, I'm just going to refresh this. This I think might have changed now. Bear with me. I think it might be a bit more updated. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So that's yeah, it's damn near 200,000 drop, isn't it? Oh my God, yeah, 412,000. Just below the average. Actually, well below the average if you take off the hit. Did the hit work? We'll talk about that in a second. Let's run through it. Pickford, yeah, still happy enough with that choice, especially given they didn't keep the clean sheet. But you know, Pickford, as you want with these sort of keepers, you want clean sheets and save points. And you know, 4. You know, I'm happy if my keeper's averaging a 4 or 5. I don't think that's bad over the course of the season. You know, and clean sheets will come with Everton. Is Dyke going to survive though? Will it be non-Dykey football anymore if they do get a new manager in? Because I do believe he is under review. But for now, yeah, I'm happy enough with Pickford. You know, he's going to make saves, and the current Everton setup, you know, will keep a reasonable level of clean sheets. Do I wish I'd gone Sells with his clean sheet this morning? Yeah, I do a little bit. But you make these 50-50 decisions, so I'm not really having any major regrets on that. Nothing from Hall, unfortunately, but Newcastle. You know, they do look good. They do look good. It's the story of my season with my defenders at the moment. I play them. I've lost so many points for a Hall on the bench. I think I just have to play them. You know, I've just got to just stop chopping and changing and playing fixtures. You don't know where these guys are going to come up with their clean sheets or their returns. And as per Ahmad sitting on my bench with his 9-pointer, Hall looks excellent. He really does look good. Newcastle are looking good. I've just got to play Hall every week, and then I will start to pick up his points. So that's one mistake I definitely have to correct. Hall's been consistent, particularly over the last 5 or 6 game weeks, but he was looking really good even before that. Gabriel, yeah, Arsenal just finding a way to concede another daft goal. Should it have been a penalty? You can argue it till the cows come home, but the fact is they have conceded yet again. You know, I've got a 6.2 million defender there who hasn't returned again, and he's not getting any goal returns either, which you're kind of expecting Gabriel to get on the end of something. It's just not happening. But I know the second I take him out, he will get on the end of a couple, particularly in this next fixture that they've got coming up. I think there's a really good opportunity there. Yeah, hold my hands up. Yet another transfer hit mistake, but I was, as a United fan, terrified on 2 levels. Terrified from my United fan perspective, and as an FPL manager, of the damage that Trent could do against our absolutely shocking defence and midfield. A couple of wobbles still in that defence, but I thought they were pretty resilient against Liverpool, all things considered. But I thought our midfield was superb. I thought Ugarte and Bruno had absolutely superb games in the middle there. They really did. You know, against, you know, what I would consider the best midfield certainly in the Premiership, if not indeed Europe or the world at the moment. And I thought we gave as good as we got there, and it was a brilliant game of football. And they didn't run through us, you know, like teams have been doing in recent weeks. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, we'll talk more about Trent, I think, in my future strategy video. It's a lot of money in there. Do need to see the returns. I do believe he will still be the high scoring defender in the Premier League this year, but by how much? You know, how much is he going to outscore the likes of the Ayenas, the Milenkovic's, these guys, and is that money actually better used elsewhere? Talk about that in a later video, but for now he is going to be in for at least the next 3 or 4 game weeks. There's some good fixtures there. Let's see how that progresses, because I have other more pressing things that I'll be doing to release money, which again, as I say, I'll talk about in the strategy video later this week. Enzo, I think will have to go. It won't be immediate. Yeah, just not returning. He does look good. He has been unlucky. He's not going to be going immediately, so he will have another chance or two. But it's just not looking good now. It's I think there's 3-4 blanks in a row. There are other better options, I think, that could come in for him, who are consistently returning. And again, as I say, this is something we'll talk about with future transfer possibilities. Salah still managed to find, even in a poor performance, still managed to find a way to get his goal. Was it a penalty? Under the rules of the game, yes, it was. Absolutely was. But I can point to many times where similar situations weren't given. I've got my United hat on here, to be honest with you, a little bit. I can point to many situations, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, whoever you support, where very, very similar things have happened, where, like, the ball has come at someone quickly, even though the arm's been up or whatever. So yeah, it absolutely was a penalty on the current rules, but I've seen loads of situations where those have not been given this year. The standard of refereeing in the Premiership and the VAR is shocking. I think we can all agree on that. And what it is the lack of consistency. I'm actually a qualified ref a long time ago now. Qualifications long run out, and honestly, just the Saturday semi-pro and the Sunday league shit I was refereeing, sometimes I swear to God the standard was better than that. It's gone back a long way now. I think VAR has been badly used. I'd like to see it gone. It's a pain in the arse. I was on the fence with it when it came, and I thought, let's see how it goes. It's been overused now. Overused for every little thing. Referees are just waylaying responsibility and handing everything to VAR. They're not doing their job. Anyway, that is not a discussion for FPL. That is just a personal opinion. Yeah, Palmer. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's all right. Starting to see a few returns from him now. So the problem with my team this week is most of the players that returned are just the highly owned ones. So that's the massive rank drop. We'd had Sal and Palmer, fantastic. Yeah, both returned. Everyone's got them. Does nothing for you. The only time that'll do something for you, which will be the case when we look at next week's team, is when there's a captaincy split. But when it's a week like this, they could have returned 30 points each. It's actually not going to do a huge amount for your rank unless you've got your peripheral players coming in, which sadly this week I did not. Jota, delighted to see him come off the bench and not score, even though that would have been one of my big differentials. As I say, United hat on first and foremost. But yeah, Jota is gone, by the way. I won't do the reveal now, but he is gone. I have done an early transfer. It's a calculated risk. I think I've got enough bench cover if something does go wrong and there's injuries with the Carabao Cup matches and the FA Cup matches, that I can cover it. But I really just have to. This player will be going up in price. He's already gone up at least once, may have already gone up twice actually, and he's going to go up again before the match week. And I will need every dollar that I can muster for what I want to do incrementally over the next 4 or 5 game weeks. So Jota, yeah, it's a gamble. Got a goal last week, got nothing this week. I do want a third Liverpool attacker, but it won't be Jota, and I do have someone in mind that will come in some point over the next few game weeks, provided I can see that there is still that consistency of minutes there. But yeah, just the one goal out of my Jota punt. Similarly, my Watkins punt, which again I thought could have been a great differential. Very good last week with the 11 points, a bit of a game week saver. But yesterday, nothing, absolutely nothing. And now, obviously with, coming back from his suspension, Duran coming back from his suspension, there's going to be, obviously, the minutes risk is there again. Do I think Watkins will start the next one? Maybe, but it's Everton away. We'll see what happens there. Although we don't know, maybe is Dijk going to be gone? Will Dijk be gone, and does that change the whole dynamic of that Everton defence? if you know, so you can always rely on Dyche, you know, park the bus, get you a fair amount of clean sheets. We'll see. That's one to keep an eye on, obviously. But yeah, Watkins at some point will go, probably in the next few weeks, and that will give me a big bank of cash to do some things with, which you'll talk about in a day or so's time. Wood, I suppose you could say that hit worked. I did want to get rid of Jackson. I was sure Jackson was going to fire in a couple of goals just to teach me yet another lesson. He didn't, and Wood got his traditional goal. Wood will be in my team, I think, for a few weeks. Don't know yet whether I'll bench him against Liverpool or not. But Forest at home, we'll see. We'll have a look at that. I've got benching headaches coming, and we'll talk about that when we look at the game week 21 and strategy going forward. And Isak, yeah, got his goal. Yeah, again, looking good. He just looks like he's going to get a goal every game. That's what I said last week. You know he's going to get one or two chances, whatever the match is, and he will stick one away. And as I say, he could have had two. Murphy delivered two lovely balls into him. First one he should have stuck away, in my opinion, and the second one he was just lucky. There was a little deflection as it came through, but his swing still managed to get just enough of a touch on the ball to put it in the corner, and I'll take that every time, particularly given the game week that I had. As I said, you know, there was nothing there apart from Wood that has helped save my rank a little bit. You know, all blanks except for Salah, Palmer and Isak, and they're not going to be major for rank rises because everyone has got them now. You know, they're your staple diet. They're the ones that you're expecting to get you to your 30 or 40 points, hopefully, if the captaincy's on one of them, and you usually Salah, and then you need some of the other guys to be delivering to get me to my 70 points plus. And apart from Wood, they didn't. They did not deliver. Bunch of feckers. The bench. This goes back a little bit to what I was just saying. Yeah, Konza didn't expect a clean sheet from him, and that's why I did bench despite the very, very good fixture. And sure enough, Villa just will find a way to concede. The big disappointment is, I guess, Ahmad. I said a week or two ago, Ahmad is likely to score against the better teams that will come out, and there's the spaces for the breaks and the things like that. And I still bloody benched him, and points are left there. And I brought Enzo in instead, and because I've always had, like, you know, the Ahmad Enzo thing going on. But I played the fixture with Enzo and nothing, and Ahmad comes in with a nice score, and that wouldn't have saved the game week, but you know, would have put a far better complexion on it, wouldn't it? And then yeah, Timber obviously with the suspension. So that's where it stands. It is horrible to look at. Down to 412k, if that is up to date, and I think that is pretty up to date. Which I haven't looked exactly at the numbers, but you know, over the last 4 or 5 game weeks, I've dropped from about 110,000, I think it was, just 4 or 5 points outside the top 100k. Saka got injured. I've been too reactive, trying to create differentials where I didn't need differentials. If you looked at my team as it was then, if I'd just done a change Saka to Mbemo, I would have still been flying, and I'd still been right up there. Don't think I'd have risen much, but just I had a quick look before. I thought, oh yeah, no, I'd have had him, no, too many changes, too much chopping, and this is the result. So the ship needs to be steadied. I'm going to fill out the old spreadsheet. I will then look very, very carefully. I think I know the players I want to bring in from my watch list steadily, no hits, over the next few weeks, and building towards obviously really needing a really strong run in now. This has really thrown me right back. I think we'll find I was, as I say, I was, you know, just 4 or 5 points outside the top 100k only 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think we're going to find them about, it's probably going to be 30, maybe even more now. Now that's absolutely totally retrievable. We're only just over halfway through the season, but the more that grows, the harder that's going to be clawed back. I need to start seeing a little bit of green coming and retrieve this situation. I'll be back maybe later on today, might be tomorrow, because I want to just update the spreadsheet. look at what team I'm likely to put out. As I said, I have made a transfer. I'll reveal that in the next video. I think it's one quite a few of you might be making, but if it's not the one that, if the one I've gone for, and you'll already, this will be the clue, if you can't afford the one I've chosen, there's another really good option in that team which is a lot less money and giving as good a numbers, but I have gone for the option that's just a slight favourite. There's a very good option in that team as well. Talk about that in the next video. I think that's it, guys. We'll leave it at that on that one. Hope you've all had a really good game. I know a few of you have, and I know a few of you are a little bit in the same boat as me with some struggles with players not returning that would have been expected to get something out of it. But hey, we're just halfway through the season. I think a lot of you are well entrenched, well inside the top 1 million, and a lot of you are well inside the top 500. And I know a few of you are knocking on the top 100,000 door. Any of you in the top 100,000 yet? Cameron, you might have scraped it this week. Let me know how you all went. Leave it at that. Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic. I'll see you in a day or so's time. Take care. Bye-bye.